Who's ready to have some fun? Yeah, you ready? This is going to be an amazing entrepreneurial experience. It is time, that's right, for the finals of GeekWire's Elevator Pitch, Startup Pitch Competition, presented by West River Group. Over the past few months, 12 entrepreneurs competed in this wild competition, pitching their business ideas in the 32 seconds it takes to get to the top of Seattle's iconic Smith Tower. Now, we're down to 4 finalists. That's right, just 4 finalists left. They are spread across our categories that include sustainability, consumer products, fintech, and the future workplace. Before we hear from each of them, let's take a look at the Season 3 teaser for GeekWire's Elevator Pitch.
Some startups go up, others go down. Welcome to GeekWire's Elevator Pitch, where the entrepreneurs pitch their businesses in the 32 seconds it takes to get to the top of Seattle's historic Smith Tower. Over the course of 4 episodes, we'll narrow the field from a dozen entrepreneurs to 1 winner. Let's meet our judges. Anthony Bontrager, a longtime entrepreneur, media executive, and venture investor who enjoys working with startups as managing director of West River Group and cycling throughout the Pacific Northwest. Maria Colacurcio, CEO of Syndio, mom of 7, and fitness enthusiast who is committed to embedding workplace equity into the fabric of companies around the world. Kirby Winfield of venture capital firm Ascend. He's a Seattle entrepreneur with 2 IPOs and 2 exits under his belt and counts more than 80 startup investments to his name. The clock is ticking. Jump on board and ride with us on the 3rd season of the Elevator Pitch and find out which entrepreneur has what it takes to make it to the top.
All right, this is going to be fun. The Elevator Pitch judges are joining us here today in the front row, American Idol style. We've got Anthony Bontrager of West River Group. Let's hear for Anthony. Woo! Maria Colacurcio, CEO at Syndio and the winner of the 2019 GeekWire Elevator Pitch. And Kirby Winfield, the longtime Seattle entrepreneur and venture capitalist at Ascend. Kirby, welcome. All right, so we've met our judges. Now we're about to meet each of our 4 elevator pitch finalists. Here's how this is going to work. Each of our 4 finalists, the winners of their respective categories, will come on stage with 32 seconds to pitch their business concepts, the same time it takes to rise to the top of Smith Tower here in Seattle. Then our judges are going to provide some feedback and maybe a few questions. I call it the grilling component of the event. And as audience members, you also get to participate. So make sure you use the QR code that you see on the screen to vote for the Geek's Choice winner, which is an audience favorite. Just shine your camera up at that, launch that code, and you can vote for the favorite audience pitch. All right, judges, are we ready? We're ready. All right, entrepreneurs ready? I think they're ready. Let's jump in. Our first presenter is Amina Moreau, the CEO of Radious. Amina, welcome.
It really doesn't make sense to pay for a 10-year lease anymore when employees only need office space once or twice a week. Enter Radious, a B2B marketplace that takes Airbnb properties, outfits them with workplace amenities, and offers them up for company offsites, team meetings, and collaborative work rented by the day. With Radious, Airbnb hosts can supplement their income on weekdays and winter, and companies have on-demand access to unique workspaces right in employees' neighborhoods. Welcome to the sharing economy of workspaces.
All right, awesome pitch. So it was sort of serendipitous that Megan from Smartsheet mentioned that she wanted to rent out a space for a week. Maybe you'll chase her down after this.
I already kind of tackled her.
There we go. Well,
5 minutes ago.
I'm trying to do freelance business development for you. This venture business is hard. Can you tell us how that would work if a company like Smartsheet wanted to engage and take out a space for a week? Where would you start?
Yeah, I would start by tackling, and then book a space next Tuesday. Smartsheet has at least 30 employees in Portland. I looked it up on LinkedIn. This is my go-to. Just book a space. You got a meeting, book it for next Tuesday. There's no commitment beyond that day, just like with a platform like Airbnb. However, if you find value in it, 2 or 3 or 4 times later, I'm going to tackle you again, and I'm going to say, all right, we offer subscriptions. Because your employees may want to book spaces if they need some work-life separation, they want to see a colleague, but not necessarily commute to a city center. Give them the freedom to book those spaces, guilt-free, no expense reports, no requirement to ask the boss for permission. It's paid for. They just feel appreciated by you as an employer.
Awesome. Tell us about supply. How do you find your hosts?
Our hosts. Well, the real truth is that we're poaching them from Airbnb. Airbnb hosts already have the experience. They know hospitality. They have all the infrastructure, the keyless entry, the cleaning crews. It's easy for them to buy a whiteboard and instantly turn a living space into a collaborative brainstorm space. They already have smart TVs. Some of them are even buying projectors. So the barrier to entry is relatively low. And the part that I love the most is that this pretty much eliminates the cold start problem that a two-sided marketplace would have. It is, I want to say, borderline easy for us to get supply, especially because we can help them monetize off-season for the first time ever.
Thank you.
You actually hit the nail on the head, or the question I was going to ask you is the barrier is extremely low. So how do you create a defensible position for your company against other would-be entrants?
Yeah, one of the most common questions I get is, why wouldn't Airbnb do this and just crush you? And here's the thing. Airbnb, VRBO, Dwellable, HomeAway, Expedia, these are all great companies that have succeeded in what is a massive space with massive TAM. We can succeed too. And the second thing, you know, a company like Airbnb has such a strong brand that is associated with one thing: overnight accommodations. And they just had their most profitable summer in history. There's no reason for them to go through the headache and risk of such a massive pivot. Let us take on the burden of that. And if they want to partner with us someday, let's talk.
All right, let's hear it for Amina Moreau, the CEO of Radious. Thank you, Amina. All right, next up, we're going to hear from our fintech episode winner. It's Devin Miller, co-founder and CEO of SecureSave. Welcome, Devin.
So money is the top source of stress for Americans. And right now, inflation is squeezing their savings, and most are still living paycheck to paycheck. And so it's no wonder that for most Americans, emergency savings is their top financial priority. But unfortunately, almost 50% still can't even afford a few $100s of unexpected expenses. And so at SecureSave, we are reimagining the emergency savings account. And we do this by making saving for emergencies easy, automatic, and with better incentives by working with employers to offer emergency savings as a new benefit like a 401k or HSA. And like HSAs, emergency savings is going to be a multi-billion-dollar category, and SecureSave is the category leader.
Thanks, Devin. First, copying my haircut is definitely a way to get yourself my vote. So let's just be
Way to commit, huh?
Yeah, I love it. So help me understand, why would a company want to pay SecureSave, to basically set up a savings account that the employees can essentially do for free on their own? So help me understand that, because it seems to me there's a friction point there that I'm really curious how you're going to solve that.
Yeah, people just don't. I mean, I've been in fintech for 15 years, and you're really having to manage against people's own kind of emotional barriers to money and savings. And unfortunately, though, it's so easy, they don't do it. And HSAs and 401ks have been a great example of making things happen automatically through payroll, creating incentives, making it super easy. Even the nudge from the employer is really important. And so we're just showing that you can do that with this new category in emergency savings. We had an employer we just launched a few weeks ago, a large manufacturer. They have a lot of fulfillment center workers, a lot of loans, a lot of 401k loans, payday advances. So they knew they had a problem, and we launched with them, very excited about it. They're at almost 45% adoption of their employees within just weeks. And so we've shown that this can work, and that little bit of automation and nudging makes all the difference.
Thanks, Devin. So total rewards professionals are under a tremendous amount of stress right now, and there's just a lot coming at them. So how do you break through the noise?
Yeah, we definitely have a very specific kind of customer profile. Manufacturing is great for us. Anything in kind of blue collar services. We're pitching a number of airlines right now, a number of groups with huge customer call centers. These are all groups that have lots of 401k loans, very clear financial hardship problems going on in their company, very clear ROI. They're all searching for this. And further, there's RFPs going on right now specifically on emergency savings. So this is a category we're not making. It's there. We're just leading it as far as results. And that's kind of the other piece. When you have a benefit program that you're trying to deploy, you got to show that it's going to be used and successful with your employees. And we crush that. We get 55% adoption, and we really get people to save. They stick with it, and it has a real impact on the employer. And so those total reward professionals, when they kind of unpack this, and as long as we fit their problem set, they love what we do.
So, I mean, it sounds like everything's going really well, shockingly, in a pitch. But maybe tell me the one thing that keeps you up at night, or if you want to flip it, if you could wave a magic wand and just have one thing happen differently in your business, what would it be?
Yeah, I mean, you're really moving money around in what we're doing, and there's real laws and real regulatory things to consider. And, you know, we're on a very innovative leading edge of what we're doing. And we have to work with very large financial services partners. We work with Transamerica, Milliman, who's here, Truist, which is a big banking brand. And so we have a big hurdle that we have to do, which is we have to build real financial technology solutions, work with big institutions. We're doing those things, but we can only go as fast as we can innovate and partner. And you know, I'd love to snap my fingers and have 10 more partners, but you know, I think if we keep executing, we'll get there.
All right, let's hear it for Devin Miller, the CEO of SecureSave. Thank you, Devin. Next up, it is the winner of our consumer products category. I'm pleased to welcome to the stage Erin Quick, co-founder and CEO of PairTree. Erin, welcome.
Hi, thank you, thank you. Co-founder of PairTree, but the title that I like better is two-time adoptive mom. And I started PairTree because, like me, 1 in 8 families are being diagnosed with infertility, and LGBTQ couples are growing at least 4% year over year. And so the need for alternate paths to building a family is becoming exponentially more important. And yet adoption, one of those major pathways, hasn't evolved in over 50 years. And that's not okay. So I started PairTree. It's one platform that provides all the services that families need to navigate private domestic adoption in the US for a fraction of the cost without the long timelines, old process, and discriminatory practices.
Erin, can you break down for us what's technology and what's services in what you're offering?
Yeah, so we have a couple different products. So matching, we just launched the first ever iOS and Android app. It's basically like Bumble for adoption. And so adopted families build profiles, expectant moms sort through those profiles. And once they've connected, it's entirely technology-based. Once they've connected, that's when we refer them to adoption professionals that can path them through the legal process. On our home study approval product, which is any family that wants to adopt, they have to be approved in their state to adopt. That's about 90% tech-based and 10% professional services.
Thank you.
As a technology company, you know, what's the long tail for your business? I mean, when you talk about adoption, there's 1, maybe 2, possibly 3 transactions, you know, involved in that. You know, what future value can PairTree bring to its customer base?
Yeah, and it's the reason I want to talk to Holly that was up here for T-Mobile after this. But so I think we named the company PairTree, not Adopt Tree, on purpose. So we want to start with adoption, but move into embryo, sperm, egg, surrogacy. Anytime that there's multiple family trees coming together to build a family, we want to be at the center of those journeys. PairTree.
Have you sorted out any more of the of your thinking around regulatory, and you know, specifically to what you just alluded to downstream, because it seems, you know, certainly challenging enough to kind of manage adoption regulation, and then you start talking about different fertility opportunities. I imagine the regulatory environment gets even more fragmented and challenging. So how are you tackling that today?
Yeah, so it was, I think, Anthony that brought up in our episode, and so we've developed we call it our deep dive strategy. We're focusing on 7 states in the nation that have the most variation as it comes to regulations, and building the playbook in those to then take to the rest of the nation. And I'm happy to say we've made some pretty good progress on those 7 states. We're already good to go in 2 of them, Washington State and Texas. And then in addition to that, we're meeting with a bunch of public policy and legislative bodies. So we met with the Federal Help Committee, which has oversight at the federal level, oversight in adoption. And our Senator Patty Murray chairs that committee, so that was great. And then tomorrow, we're meeting with Senator Amy Klobuchar's group, who's introducing legislation to make adoption better. But we're going to get licensed, and we're making friends with everyone that has kind of oversight into the areas that we're going to need to get some rules changed.
All right, let's hear for Erin Quick, the CEO of PairTree. Thank you, Erin. All right, now I'm pleased to welcome to the stage the winner of our sustainability category in the GeekWire Elevator Pitch, Katherine Sizov, who is the CEO of Strella Biotechnology. Welcome, Katherine.
The carbon emissions on food waste are greater than that of all US transportation combined. To solve this problem, we created a proprietary sensing technology coupled with software that can tell you how ripe produce is. We started by helping Washington State apple and pear growers organize their inventory based on shelf life in order to reduce food waste and improve the overall quality. We've monitored over 2 billion pieces of fruit to date and have recently closed an $8 million Series A round in order to expand into other supply chain segments and commodities.
Katherine, I got to say, after we spoke the first time, I actually told some friends about your technology, and they immediately said, well, why don't you apply it to consumer? Because, gosh, it would be great if I could have avocados show up and actually be ripe. Have you thought at all about licensing this to a consumer application, or are you just completely heads down on B2B?
Yeah, consumer is definitely in the future, but the way that we look at it is, let's say you went to the grocery store and every time you went there, you knew that your avocado was going to be has exactly 2 days of shelf life on it, instead of going to the grocery store and picking out sometimes hard, sometimes mushy avocados. So we think that if we can solve the supply chain inconsistencies, then ultimately the consumer is going to get a more consistent product, and we don't have to solve things on the consumer level.
I haven't looked at an avocado the same since we first met you. So I have to put that out there. I'm curious about the team that you need to build in order to be successful here, because it seems like you need a pretty wide swath of talent and expertise, from supply chain to manufacturing to science. So can you talk us through that?
100%. I was actually joking with my lead engineer the other day. He was kind of complaining. He was like, could you have picked an easier first startup? Because yeah, we have electrochemists, biochemists, plant physiologists, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, all on our team. And then we have to couple that with people who understand fruit and who understand the agricultural environment, which is completely different from any of those specialties. So yeah, our team is extremely diverse, but I think that's what keeps us coming to work every day. You know, I've never thought that I'd have to learn about how avocados ripen, honestly, but it's been fascinating.
I don't eat avocados, so I don't know what you people are talking about. I do like guacamole, though. I know, call me a freak. I know, exactly. So, Katherine, you've talked about the high level of what Strella does, but can you dig down a little bit more for us? How specifically do you do what you do, and what are the economics around that? Right? How does Strella make money, and how do you actually deliver an ROI back to your customers?
Totally. So I'll start with our bread and butter market, which is in apple and pear storage. So first of all, we developed this technology. And the way that it works is by sensing the communications that fruits have with each other as they ripen. So if you've ever put an unripe banana next to a ripe one, you see it ripens a lot faster than if it was by itself. And this is because fruits communicate with each other as they're ripening. And so we've developed a technology that can kind of intercept those communications between fruits and vegetables and interpret what the shelf life looks like. We put these sensors all up and down the supply chain, and we monetize based on the volume of produce that we're actually monitoring and reshuffling and rearranging. So in apples and pears, we monitor big storage rooms filled with fruit that can actually sit for up to a year before they're sent to the grocery store. And so we charge per room per year on a subscription-based model. For retailers and distributors, we charge per case of fruit that we monitor.
Great. Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for Katherine Sizov, CEO of Strella Biotechnology. Thank you, Katherine. Great to be here. Great to have you here. Great pitches by all 4 of our finalists today. Our judges are now going to privately huddle here to select the 2022 GeekWire Elevator Pitch winner. I want to tell you a little bit on what's in store here today. So, in addition to Startup Glory, of course, today's winner receives a prize package that includes a VIP package to Top Golf, courtesy of West River Group, 2 round-trip tickets anywhere Alaska Airlines flies, courtesy of Alaska, and of course a GeekWire goodie bag. So, and don't remember, your vote counts, so snap a photo of the QR code you see here on the screen, place your vote, and we will pick our Geek's Choice audience favorite. So make sure you submit your favorite pitch. All right, as we mentioned, we're going to hear a little bit more from our entrepreneurs. So if I could invite all 4 of our entrepreneurs to come back up on stage, be great to have you up. Come on up, Devin, Erin, Amina, Katherine, come on back up. And we're going to chit-chat here a little bit while our judges are making their final decision there. So, Katherine, I'll start with you since you've got the mic. What's it like pitching in an elevator? Going up, 32 seconds. I mean, this is not a lot of time.
It's a little cramped and kind of just go on autopilot.
All right. And then, Amina, any comments on the elevator ride and your pitch?
It was just, I mean, an elevator pitch is called an elevator pitch for a reason, so it kind of made sense, but it was super fun.
And did anyone do any special training or practice in order to hone their skills? Let's tell a little bit about that, because you guys nailed it.
Go on
you were all
LinkedIn.
great.
So find me on LinkedIn. This morning, I posted like a novel about everything that I did to prepare for this, about how I practiced with the mic in my left hand, but it was actually hairbrushed. There's like a selfie video of me doing it. I look like a crazy person.
Oh, I was going to say, I actually took Maria's advice because she said pitch to your kids. And so I pitched my kids. And at the end of it, they looked at me with great big eyes and they said, "Can you help us adopt a puppy?"
So they were really paying attention.
I think it worked. I think so.
Yes, yes. Well, that is great advice. You have to simplify things for kids to get it across. So I think that is great advice. Devin, any of your experiences on the elevator pitch? What have you learned from going through this crazy ride?
Simplicity scales. Keep it simple, keep it short. That's what works.
All right. And what's next for you and your business? We've caught up with you over the last few months, and we haven't seen you for a few months. So I'm curious what's next and what's changed for all of you.
I mean, it's very exciting. We've been just on this crazy 2-year journey building out our company and making a big assumption of what would happen with our category, and it's coming true, and we're capitalizing. So I hope that you'll hear a lot of us in the future.
Wonderful. Any other updates from any of the companies?
I have one I'd love to say. Yeah, so we launched TurboTax to approve people to adopt. We launched basically Bumble to help families match, but then we're now starting to talk to, come January, we'll be rolling out employee benefits for people that want to use adoption as an employee benefit. Will be in the handbooks of employees in January 2023.
Amina, anything new at Radious in the last couple months?
Yeah, well, so I'm from Portland. We initially launched in Portland about a year ago, but just a little while ago, we launched into our second city, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. If you're wondering why on earth there, come talk to me later. But they affectionately refer to it as Small Walkie. That's a big reason. So we're moving places.
And Katherine, finally, any new updates on your business?
Well, we've been busy working on making those bananas really nice at the grocery store. And next on our list is avocados, actually. So.
Avocado, yes, awesome. The crowd is very excited to hear about that. Okay, now before we hear our judges' official selection, we are going to get our Geek's Choice audience favorite. So I think someone out there has the special prize package. Have we decided yet? Okay, this is your vote, GeekWire Summit. And Holly Grambler, our wonderful Chief Sales and Marketing Officer, who's making everything run behind the scenes here today. Thank you, Holly. Wonderful. The audience choice winner of the 2022 GeekWire Summit is Katherine Sizov of Strella Biotechnology. There you go, Katherine. Okay. But of course, we are not done, and I would like now to bring up to the stage our judges. Are we not ready, judges? Yeah. Well, are we ready to go?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's come on up on the stage. So Anthony Bontrager of West River Group. Let's hear it for him. Maria Colicurcio of Syndio and Kirby Winfield of Ascend. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of the GeekWire Summit Elevator Pitch. Before we announce the winner, I'd like to, pick your brains. What makes a great pitch? You do investments across a large array of companies. What makes a great pitch in your mind?
Well, I'd start, but we spent 5 minutes trying to convince Maria that she can't win this year's award again. It's like literally. We want to be on your cap table, but it's not the way to get there. Okay. No, I think, John, it's a fair question. So for me, what makes a great pitch is having really good kind of KPIs, showing us where the there is and that this is a defensible business and something that an investor can get behind. Because there's a lot of great ideas out there, right? But if you can't convince an investor that there's going to be a true return on this, it's going to be a kind of an uphill battle. And so having your numbers tight, knowing where you're going to go, and having kind of that North Star is important, at least from my perspective.
Yeah, and I would say it's about the quality of the team and the leader. So whether that's the founder or founder CEO, it's really about what are they thinking about as they go establish themselves to recruit a great team at the leadership level, because that's going to have a huge impact on not only who you are, but how you get there and then how you continue to build that brand around your employees. And
Kirby Winfield of Ascend, what are you looking for in a great pitch?
Someone who sounds nothing like I sounded when I was doing startups, because I was not good at pitching. I honestly, I think it's about inspiration for me, and just the idea that a founder's real job over the course of the life of a company is to inspire. It's to inspire, press to write articles. It's to inspire employees to work for you. It's to inspire customers to work with you, and investors to invest in you. And so that first meeting where the pitch is coming across the transom, you just want to be tickled. You want to feel like you got an insight into something that you never thought about or knew about. And you want to be inspired to take the journey with the founder. So that's what I look for.
I'm getting choked up.
I know, me too.
All right, Anthony Bontrager of West River Group, are you ready to take us home here on the winner of the 2022 GeekWire Elevator Pitch?
Absolutely. Well, John, thank you very much, and thanks to the GeekWire team for putting this on today. Can we get a big round of applause for GeekWire? So on behalf of West River Group and literally these two amazing judges with me, we're really pleased to announce today's winner. No, it's not Syndio, I'm sorry. But one of the things I want to leave everybody with, this was an incredibly hard decision. Not only are we talking to some amazing founders, we're looking across different industries, and we struggled. I think even in the different episodes, we had differences of opinion, but we finally coalesced on a winner for each episode. And today was no different, right? Great pitches. You guys have actually really improved your pitches since the last time we all got together. It's a hard job for us. Not as hard as you guys, but it's a hard job. But you all did great. Thank you very much for participating. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody, again. But as they say in the movies, there can be only one. So I'm proud to announce that the winner of this year's GeekWire Elevator Pitch Award is Strella Biotechnology. Very good.
Katherine Sizov. All right, Katherine. Katherine, congratulations. Congratulations, Katherine. How are you feeling?
Feeling like I really need to save some more avocados.
All right. Well, is there anything that stood out about that pitch?
For me, John, it really was, I wouldn't call it an ESG component, but, what you're doing, for the food chain, I think is incredibly important. We're seeing the impacts now, given what's happening in Ukraine. And, I think the job that you're undertaking right now is something extraordinarily important. Not that what the other contestants were doing is any less important, but this is something that I think the three of us generally felt was something that we were really excited about.
All right. Well, a big thanks to West River Group, Anthony Bontrager, Maria Colicurcio of Syndio, and Kirby Winfield of Ascend. And let's hear it for all of our elevator pitch finalists and judges. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Great pitches. Keep up the good work. Thank you for being a part of the GeekWire Summit.